Hi guys, today we're going to react to Someone's Daughter by Jinjer. This is a Buy Me a Coffee request from Dan W60. Thank you, Dan, for this request and for all your support. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Dan. As always, we appreciate the ongoing support.
You teach me how to be a man, though I am someone's daughter. The path of warrior was set for me. And once off, the skin is nothing but the scale. One by one, I lead in equal fights eventually. The goodness is broken and not faint.
Welcome back to Jinjer. It's been a while and it's good to be back. I love this band so much. I love their intensity. I'm actually liking that we have so far mostly heard Tatiana's clean voice. I know that there's going to be some screaming coming and I'm looking forward to that. But so far it feels like we've been eased into this one. So yeah, I'm enjoying this so far. Very good.
I love how the characters Tatiana plays here. Most of them, there are three. There's a ruler, a scientist. I don't know why I thought about Madame Curie, but there's a scientist there, and there's an artist, a painter. So the artist and the scientist are so out of character for Tatiana. She's more of force of nature. I'm more used to seeing her closer to that persona than the other two. And it's interesting to see that they did that, and also makes me curious as to why they did that, as I'm sure it correlates to the subject matter. And as for music videos, I miss Jinjer a lot. Great experience so far.
About what you said about the characters, it's true, she is a force of nature, but through her lyrics, we have come to know that there's a very much an artistic side to Tatiana. So the artist does work for me. I'm not so sure about the scientist, but Tatiana obviously has many sides to her. And I think, yeah, that's probably kind of the point, that a woman has all kinds of different sides to her. She's not just one thing. I'm not yet 100% sure about the meaning. I think I'll have to kind of get through to the end of this and kind of look at the lyrics and see what I can work out. At the moment, I'm leaning a certain way, but not 100% sure. But I'm loving the experience. This is great.
Broken and not faint.
did go into the scream growl, and I loved it. That was fantastic, and it feels like it happened there to kind of punctuate a point as well, which I liked. And I'm loving the guitar on this and the bass. Freaking fantastic. Drums come into it. They give it that extra intensity, which Jinjer is known for with us, and yeah, loving it.
Yeah. Kind of had me curious, music aside, the music is wonderful. Kind of had me curious about the characters she portrays. Yeah, I thought they were generic, but they're not. I think I should have noticed it in the beginning, but one is Cleopatra, and at some point she's sitting on a throne that resembles the throne from Game of Thrones. And the artist, I don't know who's the artist, if it's a particular artist. And for some reason, I look at the scientist, it makes me think of Mary Curie. It is likely specific characters in history or in fiction, because the ruler on Game of Thrones, I don't know, but it piques my curiosity still.
I don't know. In my opinion, even though it might represent those specific characters, I don't think it's that relevant, if you know what I mean. It could be like a Cleopatra-like character or some kind of a warrior. And on the other one that you have your scientist and your artist, all those roles are not predominantly related with women. Scientists used to be men only first, before women were allowed to even learn stuff. Artists were usually all men, you know, back in the day. Women had to break through that. As far as warriors and rulers, I think something in this song talks about the necessity to become that, where there wasn't necessarily a desire to. But we'll go deeper into that when we have sort of the full lyrics to work with. It's interesting. I'm kind of curious as to what the intent is behind all of this. Wow. Firstly, awesome song. Musically, loved it. I love the sort of maybe level of restraint with the voice, that she only let it out in certain points through the song to make a point. I think this was done more so than in their other songs, if you know what I mean. And I like that. As far as anything musical, it was fantastic. The guitars, the drums, everything that came into it, the breaks. Musically, loved it. And lyrically, I was trying to work it out as we went along, and I found it maybe potentially confusing at some points as far as what the song was trying to say. I have come to some sort of a conclusion, interpretation, but I'm not sure if it's correct or not. It feels to me that this is Tatiana's attempt to shine a light on what it is to be a woman, for one thing, and as far as historically over time, how women had to, in some situations, you know, choose a path that was historically not meant for them, not allowed for them, not that they were pushed away from. So it might be actually talking about specific circumstances or specific characters, or not about, in general, saying every woman should do that. Women have been overlooked or underestimated or something like that throughout history, and it's time for some women or certain women who want to go that way to get in touch with the stronger side, with the side that they have not necessarily been in touch with, and be sort of more unapologetic about it. But I don't know if this was meant to be like a feminist thing or something else. There was one line that had me curious. It said about the brutal world, "I'm not your enemy. This role of a warrior brings nothing but the misery. If a woman's wings are trimmed and her radiance is dimmed, this is over. You will see her ride a broom." So basically saying that if you are trying to push a woman down and not let her do things she might desire to do or was meant to do or whatever, she will turn into a witch. She will become this kind of person. I found it interesting. I think that there's a lot of truth and a lot of very interesting kind of writing, but it seems to be very, in some ways, general and open to interpretation.
From the start, the title, Someone's Daughter, after having listened to the song, it kind of had me thinking about potentially the loss of the sense of self when we look at societal norms way back when women didn't have equality. So women were presented as someone's daughter, not by their own merit. Only years later, women who contributed to history got the
by relation.
Got the credit. It could have something to do with that loss of sense of self, self-significance. The woman in the song who is a warrior and she's fighting alone, that's what she's fighting. She's fighting to claim her place, to have the liberties that men do, and pursuing their dreams and their own vocations and what they want to do with life. I don't think it correlates to modern times as much, because a lot of it happened. Women came a long, long way since the past when they were truly oppressed. After having said all that, even, I'm still not sure that that's exactly what they mean in the song. There's still a lot of doubt. I don't know enough about the culture in Ukraine, but I do know that women in Ukraine don't behave like women in the West. The mentality is different. So that's what makes me think about if it has anything to do with the atmosphere in Ukraine for women. It arises questions. It's not that I think it's about Ukraine, but because we know Jinjer to come from Ukraine, that's what makes me think about it. It's interesting, and I think it's confusing. I think it's a good thing that it's confusing, that I can't really construct an interpretation that will make sense to me even.
Yeah, there's a lot here. Probably too much to unpack on first reaction, but still very interesting. And it feels like there's a depth to it, you know, whether Tatiana meant it that way or not. Thank you, Dan, for another awesome request. We appreciate it oh so much. Keep them coming. We love it.
Yeah, thanks, Dan, for this Jinjer request. We missed Jinjer. Please, more like this. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click the little bell icon so you get notified on all our future videos. If you have a request you'd like bumped up the line, please make it through Buy Me a Coffee. All contributions are, of course, very much appreciated. Thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you all for your time.
Please check out our Jinjer Reactions playlist, which should be on the screen sometime about now. Thank you so much for all the support. We'll be back in a couple of days with a new episode, and we hope to see you then. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.